We have the latest on the recent California mass shooting.
And later, this one UI alum who's made his way into the White House.
Iowa volleyball found themselves in the middle of a tough matchup last night. The results coming up.
We better watch out because snow is coming. Stay tuned for weather.
All that more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
You're watching DITV with complete coverage of the 2018 midterm election.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in to this Thursday morning edition of DITV. I'm Mackenzy Cooper.
And I'm Susanna Klooster. First today, a gunman has killed at least 12 people at a California bar. The suspected gunman has been identified and is dead as well. Stick with the Daily Iowan as we keep you updated on this story.
If Tuesday's elections were any indicator, the future of government is female. A record number of women were voted into Congress, beating out the record of last year's assembly, 22% to 20%. Iowa's was no exception as well. Abby Finkenauer and Sydney Axney are now two of Iowa's 4 Congress members, and incumbent Kim Reynolds was elected as governor, the first woman to claim the feat in Iowa. The Iowa State Legislature also added a total of 9 women to the assembly. For more on the story, check out DI reporter Julia Shanahan's piece in today's edition of the Daily Iowan.
President Donald Trump has let a Hawkeye into the White House after the requested dismissal of Attorney General Jeff Sessions. University of Iowa alum Matthew Whitaker has been appointed as an interim Attorney General of the United States. During the second Bush administration, the Ankeny native worked in the U.S. Department of Justice. He received a Bachelor's of Arts with a major in Communications and a Master in Business Administration, both degrees from the UI. You might remember Whitaker as the Hawkeyes tight end in the 1991 Rose Bowl.
The 2018 midterm elections were historic in many ways. We had DITV reporter Jacob Guenther in the UI Main Library to talk to students about their thoughts on Tuesday night's election.
I'm here at the main library where I'm going to ask a few people about their experience yesterday during the election.
Just everybody posting about it and really encouraging people to be active and using their right to vote to make sure that they participate in an election, just because we do have that opportunity and I think it's really important.
I was pretty happy with most of it. A little surprised that Steve King was reelected.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Some of his statements are kind of out there, but overall, I think it turned out to be kind of what it was expected to be.
I saw a lot of influence from social media, almost every Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat post. I'd say majority of them, people were saying go vote, go vote, go vote, vote today, and just encouragement towards voting. Yeah, I definitely think so.
Social media especially is huge now, so it's a good way to get it out, get the word out.
As someone who's not from here, frankly surprised to hear that there has never been a female governor here. More important in my opinion than her gender will be her achievements, and I hope that she performs well.
Reporting from the main library, this is Jacob Guenther, DITV News.
Well, as you might notice, it's been getting pretty chilly outside, and we might even have a chance for snow.
I know, I am dreading it. I had to get my winter coat out, and it's always kind of hard that first couple of weeks. But let's toss it over to Dylan to see what we can expect. Dylan?
Thanks, Mackenzy and Susanna. You guys are completely right. The weather has gotten significantly colder this last week especially. As a result of this chillier weather coming, snowfall is also on the horizon. As you can see here, the low pressure system is sweeping through the Midwest towards the northern part of the United States. Now, through Friday, there's expected to be 1 to 3 inches of snowfall here in Iowa, but also in Michigan and other parts, there could get up to 3 to 5 inches of snow. Now, here locally in Iowa City today, we have a temperature of 31 degrees and partly cloudy skies, so no snow yet. As we look into tonight, we have a temperature of also around 30 degrees with cloudy skies. Now, as we move into our extended 5-day forecast, tomorrow the snow comes with a 70% chance of snow towards the night. We have a high of 32 and a low of 17 tomorrow, so make sure you're ready for that cold. Now, Saturday for the big football game in Kinnick, we have a high of 32 degrees and a low of 26. So it'll be a little hotter and partly cloudy skies, and thankfully no snow during the game. Now, Sunday, we also have partly cloudy skies, and we get a little hotter with our high of 42 and a low of 22. Now, as our week start on Monday, the partly cloudy skies continue with a high in the 30s and a low at around 20 degrees for the start of our weeks. Finally, on Tuesday, it looks like the sun's creeping out. We have a high of 30 and a low in the mid-teens, so make sure you're ready for that cold. Well, it looks like we are getting our first snow of the year tomorrow, so make sure to be ready for it. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Hanter Theater will be showcasing the performance drama Iphigenia Point Blank, the story of the first refugees over the month of November.
We were happy to have Jahisha Thomas in the newsroom, who was able to get an inside perspective into the thoughts behind it.
Thank you, guys. Yes, I was able to sit in with the collaborators and join the Q&A with the creative team behind the Iphigenia Point Blank project, a performance about an insight of the first refugee. And the conversation in Q&A embarked upon the depth behind just such a thought-provoking project. Late Monday evening at the Old Capitol, people gathered to hear an in-depth conversation on the new complexity project Iphigenia Point Blank that Hansha was showcasing this November.
So Iphigenia is a part of Hancher's Embracing Complexity series, where we're really seeking to build bridges between Muslim and non-Muslim communities and all of the complexity that comes with that. It's an important conversation, we feel, in this day and age to be having, and so the way that we do that as Hancher Auditorium, the way that we do that is through art. So to have artists who are on board with that discussion, with that conversation, to be able to connect with the community is really important to us.
The discussion was headhunted by the collaborative approach on how they were trying to build an understanding of the Islamic cultures and the Muslim identity.
Connection between Iphigenia myth and war and refugee to what's happening today, and looking at different kind of wars that were bringing the refugees, and also why this war were happening. So that's how it happened.
We overlook it, even in our local lives in the Middle East. But it's very important to know that our destinies are very much similar, and that we have to really think of them as Lebanese or as Palestinian or as an Iraqi or as a Syrian. It's a very important part of our narrative.
Because once we knew the project would go to the stage.
Honestly, I left the conversation with a new insight behind the Islamic culture and just a new motivation to be able to connect more with their understanding and just be able to help any way I can. And from the looks of it, it looked like many people did too. Reporting from the newsroom, this is Jahisha Thomas. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jahisha. The University of Iowa student government has voiced opposition towards new proposed fees from UI international programs. A potential fee of $15 would be administered to all Iowa students to help reduce the price of study abroad programs. Currently, 16.4% of the Iowa student body travels abroad, with 848 doing so in the 2016 to 17 school year. UI Senator Jennifer Corney said, quote, "Study abroad is a low priority for me, and I worry that those $15 a semester on top of hundreds of dollars in proposed tuition increases would stop students from attending the University of Iowa," end quote. Currently, the University of Iowa offers $500,000 annually in scholarships towards the program. Well, Susanna, I'm excited to be back in Kinnick Stadium this weekend.
Yeah, we had a hard loss this past weekend, but we're hoping we can make up for it this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Let's toss it over to Sports Studio with Taylor Van Fleet to tell us more.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, the Iowa football team has to bounce back this week as they welcome in the Northwestern Wildcats to Kinnick Stadium. And standing by in the newsroom to tell us how they can do that is Daily Iowan pregame editor Adam Hensley. Adam, good morning. All right, so Adam, one area the Iowa defense struggled with against Purdue last week was in the secondary. With two freshman corners, how can the Hawks defend the pass against this Wildcat offense?
Well, Northwestern doesn't have the same sort of high-powered, explosive offense as Purdue did last week, But the key for Iowa is really getting that pass coverage down, and that helps both in with a good pass rush too, because Iowa didn't get that against Purdue. But I really think the key is locking down on the edges with those cornerbacks, depending on who Iowa starts this weekend.
All right, Adam Hensley, live in the newsroom, thank you. And Iowa basketball season officially tips off tonight against the University of Missouri-Kansas City. And Jordan Bohannon missed the Hawks' exhibition game with a bruised bone and is questionable for tonight's game. Well, not if you ask Jordan.
Don't know what you're talking about. I feel 100%. I'm excited to play Thursday.
I think you just see how he does, see how he's feeling. If he's ready to go, he'll go. And, if he gets sore, we'll take him out. There's really no other way to plan for that.
Well, if we know Jordan Bohannon, we can expect to see him play tonight. And last night, the Iowa volleyball team took on their second consecutive ranked opponent in the past week. The Hawks started out the first set with outside hitter Taylor Lewis scoring Iowa's first 3 points and tied the game at 5. The first 2 sets were back and forth, but after Nebraska's Lexi Sun was hit right in the face, Nebraska was scrambling and somehow managed to score. The third set was just all Nebraska after that as they won against the Hawks 3-0. And the Hawks will be traveling to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans this Saturday night. The Iowa field hockey team still has high hopes for a national title. With more on their first round matchup is DITV sports reporter John Rawson in the studio. John, what do you have for us?
Well, the Hawkeyes took a tough loss in the Big Ten Championship to number 2 Maryland on Sunday, but just hours later got news that they earned an at-large bid to be in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2012. They have a date with Wake Forest slated for 1:30 tomorrow in Durham, North Carolina. Iowa already beat Wake Forest 2-1 to start the season, in which Katie Birch scored the first goal of the Hawkeye campaign. I caught up with her to discuss her feelings towards playing Wake Forest again.
I'm excited. I love playing Wake. They're always a challenge, any ACC team is. I think it's just going to be an awesome opportunity, and then hopefully we can repeat what we did in the beginning and get another win. But it's going to be a battle, so we're just prepared for anything.
Wake Forest can play a little. The Demon Deacons played well in the ACC tournament with 2 wins over top 15 teams, including number 3 Duke. Eula Grassoff led the 14th best offense in the nation with 22 goals, and midfielder Megan Anderson has 27 assists, which is best in the nation by 9. But head coach Lisa Salucci knows the concern is their penalty corner.
Yeah, Wake Forest, totally different team than Maryland, so what we're focusing on is really our ability to play great individual defense, because Wake Forest's huge threat is their penalty corner, so we have to limit penalty corners. That's how they advance and basically played into the NCAA tournament. Their corners are world class, so our individual defense is going to be key.
This is a tough draw for the Hawks. It'll be up to the top 10 defense of Iowa to stifle the Wake Forest offense tomorrow afternoon. Back to you in the studio.
Fans can follow all the action on HawkeyeSports.com or on the Iowa field hockey team's Twitter. And be sure to come back to the show tomorrow for the DITV pregame show with Beau Bowman and Lucy Rodine. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thank you for tuning in to this Thursday morning edition of DITV. Be sure to head over to DailyIowan.com for all the latest news.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Susanna Klooster.
And I'm Mackenzy Cooper. Have a great day, Iowa City.